Welcome back to Darkest Dungeon, everybody. I hope that you are all doing well today. And so this week we have the Butcher's Circus going on, which I'm not sure if I have ever done this before, but I feel like this is maybe a PvP thing. And so I'm going to ignore it for now because we're going to focus on the main story here rather than that. I don't really want to get myself slaughtered to a bunch of players who are clearly much better than I am likely to be at this point. So let's go ahead and
fresh
take
kegs,
a look here
cards, and curtained rooms promise solace to the weary and broken alike.
My apologies, Wayne. I never want to speak over Wayne June. Okay, so we have ourselves a couple of different alternatives to try to cure some of our stress. One of them being the tavern. As we already know with Reynald here, he can only alleviate stress inside the town in one particular way, and that is right here. We'll only pray for stress relief. Well, not surprisingly, you cannot pray in the tavern, so we're going to ignore the tavern for now. We're going to go to the Abbey.
The cobwebs have been
here we
dusted,
go.
the pews set straight. The Abbey calls to the faithful.
Okay, so the Abbey, one thing I wanted to point out, the Abbey is improved using busts and crests, whereas let me jump back to the tavern here, the tavern uses portraits and crests. So basically every building usually requires some crests, but then a different type of currency. So tavern is portraits, and Abbey is busts. So something that we will want to consider using. We have peace through meditation here. So we could put Reynald here into the cloister. However, oh yeah, this is the Butcher's Circus. I don't want to click on that. I'm not sure how to get back out of it. So what we need to do before we start committing anybody to stress relief is we need to look to see what our options are in terms of additional adventurers for this week. So again, our stagecoach is bringing us 3 per week, and we are allowed a maximum of 10 on our roster. We can take a maximum of 4 into each dungeon each week. So this is good. We could go ahead and let Reynald take some time away from adventuring, do a little bit of praying. Maybe that'll do his spirit some good, recover a little bit of his lost sanity. Obviously extremely important considering this great big flashing red thing letting us know that he's currently insane. So a good thing that we could replace him with would be a leper. A leper is a good frontline warrior type
This
unit.
man understands that adversity and existence are one and the same.
Sorry, Wayne, I'm going to constantly be apologizing to you for talking over you. Okay, so that will be a good frontline unit for us, and then we have another Vestal here. Now, I don't want to overdo it with Vestals. I want to make sure that we get at least one of every different type of adventurer, but we'll get there eventually. For now, Vestals are incredibly useful, so I'm going to go ahead.
A sister of battle, pious and unrelenting.
I caught myself that time. Okay, yeah. So they're so useful it's extremely useful to have a healer in the party. And really, when it comes to healing, you've got 2 what I would describe as main healing classes. There are some other classes that can do a little bit of healing as well, but the 2 main ones are the Vestal and the Occultist. And unfortunately, the Vestal is reliable. The Occultist is really thematic, really a lot of fun to play, and completely chaotic in terms of the healing that they do. They do a random amount of healing with their main heal, and sorry about that, tap the microphone there. In addition to doing a random amount of healing, they can also bleed you at the same time. So it's even possible that you get both 0 healing and a bleed on you, which is obviously not what you're looking for from a healer. But anyway, they're really thematic and fun class to play, so I will grab one of those as soon as I can. Now, back to the 4 that we want to take into our next dungeon. I'll tell you what, before we do this, let's take a look at what dungeons we have available to us. So let's look at Embark. We can see right now the only options that we have are here under Ruins and also Darkest Dungeon. If we really wanted to get all of our party members wiped out in about 5 minutes, we could go into the Darkest Dungeon. We're obviously not going to do that. We could also go down here to the farmstead, which I've done a little bit of. I think this is just wave after wave of enemies coming at you. We're not in good shape for that, I don't think, so I'm not going to do this. But going back into the Ruins, we've got 4 different possibilities here. We've got a skirmish, which is just a unholy abominations turning the light against itself. Meet them in battle and learn how they fight. Okay, this is just a short adventure, very similar to the one that we just completed. Then we also have several options here of medium adventures, which means spending 1 night inside the dungeon. It is an option for us, and since we have a time limit, it might be a good option for us, except that we really need to get some successes under our belt. We need to get some experience, and more than anything else, what we need is money. The best way to get money that I know of is to get... Okay, I'm trying to remember what the name of the class is. I want to say maybe Librarian? Anyway, there's a class that's very, very weak, but they have the advantage of being able to give you additional treasure. So we want to keep an eye out for them. But in any case, let's since we know we're going into the Ruins, let's think about our party composition. But the one thing that we know that we definitely want to do is not take Renauld into the dungeon with us. So we're going to put him in the transept, because here it says pray to a higher power. Well, we already know that's the only way that he is willing to relieve his sanity. So let's go ahead and confirm treatment. It's a 1250 in terms of money, so we're burning through money already fairly quickly. Now, what I could have done is I could have upgraded the transept there to increase the stress recovery. But here's the thing. The money that we have is going to be so important in the early going. By the way, each week, the caretaker spends his time in a different slot in one of these 2 buildings. And he... what was I going to say? So he blocks you effectively from using that particular slot. So this week, luckily, it wasn't a problem for us because he's at the bar and we don't need anybody to go to the bar. But like, for example, if he had been here in the transept, we would not have been able to have Renauld actually do any praying this week. So anyway, as I was saying, what we really need to save our money for is, I think, starting next week, we're going to be able to use the guild and the blacksmith in order to improve our gear and our skills. And that's going to be extremely valuable moving forward. So I'm going to be basically saving my money this week for purposes of doing that. So hopefully we can succeed. We can succeed in the dungeon this week, come out with a little bit more money, and go ahead and maybe even a little bit of experience and get some of these things unlocked. So that's the plan. I think since she right now is sitting on 39 stress, we're going to let her sit out 1 week, and we'll take Pippery, our other Vestal, into the dungeon with us. So and plus she's a kleptomaniac. I'd really like to cure her of that. You can use the sanitarium here which says complete more quests to unlock. You can use that to get rid of some of your quirks or to lock in the really good ones. So it would be, I think it'd be a good idea for us to relieve her of kleptomaniac. Now, unfortunately, probably by the time we unlock it, I think it's extremely likely that Renauld will have kleptomaniac locked in, which means that it's just a lot more expensive to try to get rid of that. Okay, anyway, enough said about all of that. Let's go ahead and jump into our next adventure here. Oh, so Castle here. Okay, let me do one other thing. Castle here is sitting at 79. So we probably don't want to take him into the dungeon either. We could go ahead, Manslayer steady. Okay, he doesn't have any any quirks which either restrict him from a particular type of stress relief or lock him into a particular type or give him benefits from a certain type. So because of that, I think I'm gonna go ahead and check and see how it would be 1,000 for him to try to relieve some stress through meditation. Probably worth doing. I got myself in a lot of trouble with respect to stress, and we want to have him available as an option moving forward. So he'll relieve some stress this week from meditation. Renaud will relieve some stress this week and get rid of his I forget what you call that thing. His can we tell what it's called here? It's called an affliction. Yeah, he'll get rid of that affliction as well, hopefully. I think it's automatic. However, they can also disappear. It can sometimes take them more than 1 week before they're available again. So that leaves us these 4 currently to go adventuring. Well, that would be 2 different Vestals. So I think it might behoove us to go ahead and use Montague. I'm going to call him Montague, even though it's not spelled.
What better laboratory than the blood-soaked battlefield?
It's not spelled the same way that you would normally pronounce Montague, but it's close enough for me. Okay, so he's compulsive. That's going to be extremely dangerous. So when we run into those, I've already forgotten now what they're called. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. The thing I forgot the name of in the last episode as well. When you run into them in the dungeon, he will probably sometimes feel compelled to activate them without us using the proper ingredient. So he's also hard-skinned, which is good, give him a little protection, and he's a known cheat, so he's not allowed to gamble while in town. So this is another example of how, if he builds up stress, we would not be able to give him, put him in this slot right here to relieve stress because he's a cheat. He's a known cheat. Okay, now back to Embark. Oh, the other thing we have to look at here is their abilities. So you can see here, the leper is letting us know that he's primarily going to be most useful in the first slot, but he could do a little bit from the second slot as well. He has a little bit of a self-heal here. That's good. It's also a little bit of a self-stress relief, so that's good as well. We cannot unlock these additional skills just yet, but we will be able to after we get this thing, the guild, unlocked, which I believe is going to be next week. Then Pippery. She has Divine Grace, which does a heal of a single person, just like it did. I think we had both of these as well with Kooky. I'm going to start calling her Kooky. So she also has a Mace Bash, which is not wonderful. It's good from the second slot, not at all usable from the third or fourth slot. So from the third and fourth slot, which is normally where I would put a Vestal, literally all she can do is heal. So we'll have to think about whether we maybe want Dismas to be in the third spot and her to be in the second spot. And you can use your Noxious Blast or your Plague Grenade from the third or the fourth slot. You cannot use your Incision from the fourth slot. It probably doesn't matter. I think we're going to want to put her, Montague, here in the fourth slot. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's build our team here. You're moving to 3. You're moving out. So Dismas is the only returning member of our party. We're getting Talbot here in slot number 1. We're getting Pippery in slot number 2. We'll see how well this holds up. She's not a good defensive adventure hero, so this normally I would not put her here because she's going to get targeted in melee a lot, but we'll see how it goes. And then we're going to get her, Montague, here in the 4th slot. We don't have, excuse me, right, no. Here we go, here's where I want to go. We have a Blight Stone. Okay, this actually could be useful for Montague here because if I close this for a second, you can see that one of her abilities here applies a Blight. It's called Noxious Blast, and it applies a Blight. And so does this Plague Grenade. This applies a Blight as well. So this can be targeted at either one of the first 2 ranks of the enemy. This automatically hits ranks 3 and 4 of the enemy. So they're both pretty useful. I tend to use this one more often, but that one from time to time is definitely useful. And since Blight only has a chance of being applied. Here it's 100% base, but it's modified by the characteristics of your target. And the same thing here, 100%. So both of them, it's good to have a little bit of additional added to that 100%. So we're going to take this, and we're going to give this to Montague. It is going to reduce her speed, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Like I said before, there's almost always a trade-off. There's some negatives with almost every magic item, and quite often it's speed. Okay, so if we do this skirmish, all we're getting out of it is 3,000 gold, 3 crests, and we've got a flashfire gunpowder magic item that we can give to our highwaymen, which is okay, not awful. Our other options then are to go in overnight, and we could get slightly more money, different type of reward depending on which one we choose. Portrait, and just additional crests here. This gives us a Vestal, a Haste Chalice, which is plus 8 speed on the first round, and then plus 2 after that. That's quite nice. That's fairly tempting. The concern that I have is staying overnight. Because, okay, let's look and see what our nighttime abilities here. They're called camping skills. Pep Talk, Experimental Vapors, The Cure. So that would remove a disease. Okay. You have Wound Care, Clean Guns, Bandit Sense. Okay, so this is actually good. I think we're going to go in overnight because you can get surprised in the middle of the night, but as long as I use this Bandit's Sense, then as you can see, it prevents nighttime ambush. Okay, that makes me feel a little bit better. So we're going to do that. We're going to go ahead and go in here. We're only going to get crests, but I like the idea of crests are useful for every building. We're going to get a little bit of money, and we're going to get this Haste Chalice this big if we succeed. So let's go ahead and provision. And we're going to take all the food we can afford. We're going to take shovels. We're going to take 2 keys. And then we're going to take 1 of each of the others. And then a bunch of torches. I think maybe I don't want to overdo it, and you do get full torchlight after you camp, but I do want to make sure I don't run out. So I'm going to take 14 torches in with me. And I didn't have to take an additional medicinal herb or anti-venom because I already had one, so I can sell back 1 of each of those. Yeah, let's do it. Okay. So we're down to 3,000. All right. Let's, once you go down into the dungeon, you can't come back out and buy anything else. So I just want to double check, make sure I've done everything here. All right, let's do it. This is an extremely stressful game. Love it. Okay.
The fiends must be driven back. And what better place to begin than the seat of our noble line?
Alright, complete 100% of room battles. As you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Did I count correctly? 10 rooms. 10 rooms in which there could be a battle. Not all of them will have battles. Let's go ahead and get this one out of the way first because we're not going to want to go all the way up to here and then have to come back and fight a battle over there. So we'll do this one first. There may or may not be a battle there. Let's go ahead and press forward. Okay, this is good. We got a torch. Always good to get an additional torch.
Packs laden with loot are often low on supplies.
Alright, we're already going to have to use a shovel.
Even the cold stone seems bent on preventing passage.
Alright, I'm going to go ahead and use 1 torch here. Get us back above 75. Okay. Surprise, that's unfortunate. So they're all going to go before us. We resisted being stunned, so that's good. However, we are marked. Okay, they're not all going to go before us. No, I'm sorry. I was thinking of a completely different game there. No. Okay, yeah. So surprise just means that we got reshuffled is all. Okay. Well, we can still do a pistol shot here. Our damage is a little bit reduced, but it's still, I think, worth doing. We do 6 to 11. We have a reasonably good chance of killing one. Let's go ahead and try to hit the one in the back here. Nice.
Another abomination cleansed from our lands.
So here's the case where had Montague gone first, I could have dropped a blight on both of these two spiders in the very back. But because one of them is now already dead, if I use this plague grenade, it would actually only hit this one. If I use this noxious blast, it has an equivalent chance of applying to one of these two, but it actually does a little bit more blight damage, but only to a single target. So let's go ahead and try to hit the one who has not gone yet this turn. Okay. It's not going to die, unfortunately. Not this turn. Dodge. Very nicely done. Okay. It's a good start. So this one is actually going to blight to death in its next turn, so we don't have to worry about it. That leaves you now to do a chop or a self-heal. Well, you've only lost 1 hit point. I don't think it's incredibly important that we do a heal. So let's go ahead and do a chop. You do 8 to 16. Really good chance, if you hit, of killing it. But here's the thing about the lepers is they miss a lot. Their accuracy is pretty low compared to some of the other hero types. Well, and it doesn't matter because that spider dodged. Okay, now you could do a heal, but again, he's only down 1 point. Not a big deal. We'll do a melee bash. We can only bash the front 2 ranks. We already know that one right there is going to die. So let's go ahead and bash this one. 6 points. Okay, now he's in trouble. Now he's taken a total of 8 points of damage, and he has blight on top of it. I can now do an incision where if I hit, it will kill this one. So let's try it. Okay. All right, you're going to hear me sigh a lot playing this game. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do a self-heal. Okay.
Ears, blurred vision.
This is
the end approaches.
Not a great start. Okay, let's go ahead and shoot. I can't shoot this one, so we're gonna have to shoot this one. 7 points. We did not kill it.
Great is
like
the
I said,
weapon
that one
cuts on
blighted
its own.
itself dead. If you hit, you could kill this one. Oh, you can't use your Divine Grace from here. Okay, I'm going to have to change my party order up because I need you to be able to do a single target heal. All right, for now, oh my goodness, it's going to... This game drives me insane, just like it drives my characters insane. All right. Well, that one's dead
Continue the
now.
onslaught. Destroy them all.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and I'd love to give the leper another chance. Tell you what, yeah, we can do that. Maybe the leper will get another chance. Blight, please. Okay, thank you. Nope, never mind.
Death by
The leper does not
inches.
get another chance. We got some decent money out of it. He, unfortunately, is taking 15 more points of damage if I allow him to. He's only got 14 left. So what we need to do is we need to use the anti-venom already. Boom. He's no longer bleeding out. And on top of that, we could have him go ahead and eat some food. But instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch up my party order. What can you do? You can still do Noxious Blast. Yikes. Okay, I may not leave it this way. I'm going to do it this way for one battle because I want her to be able to throw a couple of heals on the leper. And now it's time to go ahead and take a look here at the whatchamacallit here. An ornate sarcophagus. It is slightly ajar. Well, I know I don't want the leper to open it because he's already the most stressed. Well, maybe not the most stressed. Yeah, he's the most stressed and the most damaged. So we don't want to risk it with him. We'll do it with Dismas here. Hidden treasures. It's always good. We take 525 gold out of that. And now we're back to heading back this way. The good news is nothing is going to attack us on the way back because we didn't see anything pop up here. And also, it takes a lot less in the way of torchlight to go back through a tunnel that you have already explored. Okay, I think what I'm going to do, I'm not going to risk it. I'm going to go ahead and eat some food. And now we're going to go on to the next room. Okay, we're going to go ahead and use the torch again. Okay. Alright, Dismas, go ahead and shoot this one. Yeah, shoot that one back there, I think. 9 points. He's got one left. Okay, you can only hit either one of these two. White, okay, that's good. You now. We needed a self-heal and a stress reduction, and have to hope that he doesn't take even more damage than that from getting beat up. Bump in the night, okay, they're attacking our Plague Doctor, who dodged again, very nicely done. Okay, now you can get a heal. Not a great one, but it's helping. Another bump in the night. Nice dodge there, Mr. Leper. Your name is, what, Talbot? Is that right? Okay, so you can now go ahead and shoot and kill
Confidence
that one.
surges as the enemy crumbles.
And got a little stress relief out of it, so that's very good. Now this one is going to bleed out as soon as it takes its turn, so we don't even have to worry about that one anymore. We can now use our Noxious Blast on this one. The blight does work. That one, like I said, blighted out.
Unforeseen.
You,
Unforgiving.
this one is going to survive because it has 8 points remaining. It's only going to take 5 points of damage unless the leper goes before it does. So we're just going to go ahead and throw a heal on him. 4 more. And now good. My leper gets to go. I'm going to risk it. He's all the way up to 31 out of 35. I'm going to risk another heal because I think there's a good chance he will attack me, meaning Talbot, and there's a good chance he won't do more than 6 points of damage. And the other benefit that we get is a stress of -5. Now, you can't do this for over and over again or else more enemies will appear, but I think we can get away with it this one time. So 6 health back and he recovered 5 stress. Bump in the night. He hit me for 5 points, so it ended up being almost a wash, but it's all good. Now, you, unfortunately, Dismas cannot shoot him, so he can only shoot that corpse. I did that really just to pass the turn. You can only heal, so let's go ahead and heal.
Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of
Now,
battle.
this time, we know he's going to bleed out, so I'm going to go ahead and do this again because it's going to reduce 5 more stress. He's at full health.
Slowly.
And like I said, he blighted out.
This is how a life
So there we go,
is
we're back up
taken.
to full health. This is kind of how you have to manage your stress, is actually doing it in battle. Can we... No, 1750 is the most we can stack. 8 is the most we can stack there, okay. So our torch, we want to keep going here. Okay, let's go ahead. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Hit the wrong key there. Meant to hit this, okay, there we go. Use another torch. Now, we've got ourselves a locked cabinet here. Let's go ahead and get Dismas opening it. Cabinet's locked. We're going to use a key. Treasures are stored there. We needed the money, so that's good. These things are worth money when you get back to town if you sell them. However, as you can see, there's a limited amount of space for which you can carry loot. And so I may end up getting rid of that citrine, for example, because it's only worth 250. Okay, let's go ahead and check out this room. Okay, another fight. They are surprised. Okay, that's good. So on their side, now they're going to go after us. All of them will go after all of us. So it doesn't work that way in reverse. Okay, I'm worried about stress probably more than damage, so I am going to go ahead and pistol shot this bone courtier because I know he does a lot of stress damage. 10 points. He's down to 2. You, unfortunately, cannot hit him. So we're going to put Blight on... We're going to put Blight on the Bone Defender, because the Bone Defender has that shield, which means they have a lot of protection, as you can see, 25% compared to the 15% on that Bone Soldier. The Bone Defender also has more health overall. So if we can apply the Blight to that Bone Defender, that's a good damage over time. It's more effective than direct attacks. 0 points of damage, but the Blight did apply, so that's good. Now here's the downside. I should have reversed these before the fight. The downside of her being in the 3rd position is she literally has no attack spells. I'm just going to do heal party. There's always a chance
of war can be
that she could crit and somebody could regain some stress out of it. Now with you, you can do a hew where you have a chance of hitting and doing damage to either or both of these front 2 rows. So I think what I will do is I will try that here. 3 points to each. Miss, that's very good. Okay, here they come. Tempting Goblet. Stress, that's bad. 19 stress. And a Coral. Okay, he dodged that Coral. That's good, because those Corals do a lot of damage. And then Axe Blade. Okay. Alright, so got to worry about Montague now. Okay, what was I going to mention? So the nice thing is, by the Leopard doing 3 points to him, the Bone Defender, we have now made it so that in 2 turns, that Bone Defender will automatically die. So even if I don't do any more damage to it, with direct attacks, it will only get 1 more turn before it dies. Meanwhile, we're going to try to kill this Bone Courtier.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
Graveyard Slash, that's very, very much not good. Okay. Let's go ahead and try to apply the Blight to this one now. Okay. Quarrel. Dodge, nicely done. Dismiss, okay. So she's taken quite a lot of damage now. Montague has taken a little bit. I could do a party heal and give a little bit of a heal to all of them, but she's just going to heal herself. 4 points. Not great. You now, I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to try to hit both of them. Very nice. Unfortunately, that one is surviving with 1 hit point. Dead weight. I think he's going to stun us here. Nope, we resisted it. Okay. You can now go ahead and heal yourself again. You can now go ahead. See, both of them are going to Blight out in their next turn. You cannot hit with Incision on that one right there, so we're at the point now where you don't actually have any effective attack at all. We could do this, however. Plus 20% damage, plus 3 speed. I'm going to give this to... you in hopes that you can kill the Arbalest there in 1 shot. Let's go ahead and do your thing. I guess I could have actually just done a heal to try to regain some more stress there. I didn't think about that. Alright, go ahead and shoot. Okay, not nearly enough damage. Alright, and so, once again, no effective attack here, but I'm going to give my Vestal here a speed boost. And she this time is going to do a party heal. So we're doing okay, health-wise. Okay, very, very good dodge there. If not for the crit and the 19 stress that we took from the Bone Courtier, this fight would have actually gone pretty well. Now, let's go ahead and we know that this corpse right here is going to disappear after this turn, which means the Arbalist will come forward. What I don't know, I know the Arbalist is less effective the further up front they get. I don't know if it's the same effect for them to be in either one of the top 2 spots. So I'm actually going to go ahead and chop this one right here. See if we can get that Arbalist all the way up to the front slot here. Okay, so that corpse disappeared. The Arbalist is now all the way in the front, where I cannot shoot them anymore. Didn't think about that. We're going to have to shoot that corpse now. You can do another party heal, because that's all you can do. You can now try to kill it. Nicely done.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
All right, so now I want to go ahead and get my default party order back where... Wait a minute. Yeah, no, I want you... No, everybody's healed up. No, you're fine. You're fine where you are. Okay, it's fine. All right, so... Oops. My mistake. Back to that. Okay. And now, let's go ahead and get the Mr. Leper here, Talbot. An ornate sarcophagus, it's locked. So we're going to use another key. That's our last key.
If only treasure
we're going to get some more money and some other items here.
Otherworldly
Scouting,
corruption.
this is good. It's going to tell us what's coming up, and especially good because we can now see this trap ahead of time. Dismiss will have a decent chance of disarming it. And we do know that a curio, that's what they're called. We do know that there's going to be yet another battle in the next room, and as well as a curio there. No need to eat any food, I don't think. The stress is definitely a concern, however. We will recover a little bit of stress when we rest. Okay. Right here. This is a statue, obviously, that I think, I don't remember exactly what the right thing to do is, but I feel like there's a chance it could heal you could regain stress from it. So we're going to try it. Altar of Light. A small holy altar seems out of place against the backdrop of corruption. So one thing I could do is I could try the holy water on it to see if that has a beneficial effect, but I'm not going to because I don't remember for the holy altar. I don't remember if you do gain any benefit out of that or not. This is what happens when you go several years without playing. So let's just go ahead and pray at it, see what happens. It might give us even more stress, in which case, hey, you know what? We're used to that. Okay. Now, unfortunately, it did not boost our stress. It did not help us recover stress. It gave us a damage boost, and this is probably the worst, well, other than maybe the Vestal. This is the worst of our heroes to actually get that particular buff. So that was a mistake, but you know what? That's going to happen. Okay, here's the trap. 90% chance to disarm it, which is higher than any of the other heroes here. Disarmed. Very nicely done. Recovered 8 stress out of that. So Dismiss here is in really good shape right now. Let's go ahead and use 2 more torches.
As the light gains purchase,
and
spirits are lifted.
Okay, we know there's going to be a fight here.
Made clear.
All right. Tempting Goblet. That's not. Thank you for dodging that. We do not need him getting more stress, which he just did. Okay. Another 19. He's up to 73. Absolutely awful. A crit.
Reeling.
Absolutely the worst possible thing that could happen. More stress for everybody, as well as a bleed. Okay, now you... Hand of Light here would do bonus damage to Unholy, which, if we look at what they've got here, they've got Human, Unholy, Human, and Unholy. So we could target this right here, which is a little bit unfortunate because I really want to kill those 2 in the back because those are the ones that do stress damage, but that's not really available to us right now. So we're going to go ahead and do this. 2 points. put a buff.
Time to perform beyond one's
Okay.
limits.
And now let's go ahead and do a... I think what I want to do... It's a choice between dividing my damage up between both of these front two or just trying to focus down one of them. I'm going to try to focus down this one, the Cultist Brawler. He's a stronger unit than this Bone Soldier is. 15 points, okay? Not quite enough. Now with you, I could do a pistol shot. I could do Grape Shot Blast, but I really need to try to kill these in the back. I could also do an Open Vein if I wanted to try to kill this one right now, but I'm less worried about damage than I am about stress. So, I'm going to try to shoot that Bone Courtier. We hit, but we didn't do enough damage. However, maybe with the Plague Grenade. Its Blight resistance is 10%. We got a really good chance here with this Plague Grenade of being able to inflict enough Blight to kill it. Yes, okay, very good. Graveyard Slash, dodge, very nicely done. Okay, now, this one right here, so he's going to bleed out, blight out during his turn. The Cultist Acolyte, however, is not, so I think it is worth our while to continue to put more blight on her. Alternatively, I could hit him and have a really good chance at killing him. I think that probably makes the most sense. Okay, very good. Didn't kill him outright, but put the blight on him, and that's going to be enough to kill him. Now you, pistol shot. Hopefully, if you can do at least 11 points of damage here, you can... well, you're not going to do 11 points of damage, are you? You can only do up to 9. Well, do what you can.
Oh, decisive
unless you crit. Very nicely done. So he blighted out. She's going to blight out, and he just blighted out. Very good, very good. Okay. Now you, I think we don't desperately need the heals. So let's go ahead. You can do 5 to 10. There's a very, very small chance that you could kill it. Or an equally likely chance that you'll just do that, the minimum amount of damage. It's fine. You now, we're in a situation where we could go ahead and kill it, or we could do another self-heal. I'm going to do the self-heal. And regain a little bit of stress as well. And now you're not going to have any chance to bleed it, but you did enough damage anyway. Very good.
As victories mount,
okay, so now we've got
two
jade that are worth 375 each, which is obviously more than the one citrine that's worth 250. So shift click on this item to discard it. Boom, discarded, take all. So that's what happens when you have a limited amount of carrying capacity. She's at 54, he's at 76. Excuse me, she's at 76. I'm pretty sure the plague doctors are she's as well. All right, so again, let's try this. This is another fountain, an ornate fountain of holy purport. It's a little bit different than the statue that we just came across. I'm going to try this again, investigate the fountain. Okay, that's not what we wanted. Well, I mean, we like the money.
Well performed.
We definitely like the money. I was, again, hoping for stress relief. We can only take all but 50 of it. Yeah, I'm willing to leave 50 gold behind rather than get rid of one of our other items. And we are scouting again, so this is very good. Wow. Okay, so far we've had a battle in every single room. I think we overdid it on the torches, pretty obviously. But yeah, we overdid it on the torches. So what I'm going to do, I think with just 8 torches, that's going to be enough light for us to be able to explore the whole rest of the dungeon. I don't need the healing. But what I do need is some stress relief. So we're going to go ahead and camp here for the night. So we're going to use our firewood. We're going to use the maximum food, which gives us the biggest stress reduction.
Horrors.
Okay, so Dismas now has no stress at all. Talbot is down to 21, but unfortunately our Vestal still has 44 and our Plague Doctor still has 66. So that's not great, but we might have some options here to further help that. But the first thing we know that we want to do, we have 12 respite points here. So we know that we want to use 4 of them to prevent the nighttime ambush. Boom, done. Now we have 8 left. He can clean guns with 4 of them in order to give himself a nice buff, which might be worth doing. We can do wound care, but we don't really need it. Nobody is down any hit points right now, and the only bleeding that we have is reasonably insignificant. Now, you can give a pep talk, 1 companion minus 15% stress for 4 battles. That's almost certainly worth doing to our Plague Doctor. Then we have Bless, which is another buff that we could do, or Pray. If religious, they get minus 15 stress. If not religious, they get minus 5 stress. Well, I don't remember which classes are considered religious. I'm pretty sure the Highwayman is not. I don't know about the Plague Doctor, and I don't know for sure about the Leper, but I feel like the Leper is considered religious, but I don't know for sure. Anyway, it's a possibility. The Leper, another pep talk. Let the mask down. You would recover your own stress, but you would call stress on everybody else. And then there's a quarantine. You suffer an additional 20 hit points of damage for... not an additional 20. You actually just flat out suffer 20% hit points damage. But all of your companions have a chance to lose stress. Let's definitely do that. I can survive the damage. And the 2 of them both got 15 stress, so that's good. And we've got 3 left. You now, there's no diseases to remove. I think what we want to do is we want to use Bless, Accuracy, and Dodge. Let's give this to... I'm going to give it actually to our Leper, because he needs the accuracy. Okay, there we go. So we've used all of our respite points for the night. We're going to go ahead and rest. Everybody's going to talk a little bit. Okay, nighttime.
The way is lit.
We are not surprised. He's still going to bleed for 3 more points of damage.
Only the strength to follow it.
Okay. Now, on to the next room. We know there's another trap here to deal with, as well as a curio. There goes his bleeding. Okay. All right. Natural swing. Okay, so because he is compulsive, because she is compulsive, she automatically did that without anything, without, any choice on my part. Luckily, she got a good quirk out of it, as opposed to a bad quirk, because she could have just as easily gotten a bad quirk out of it. All right, and now that has been expended, let's go ahead and burn through our torches here. I could, if I end up getting more treasure that I don't have room for, I could just ditch that last torch, because at this point we've got more than we need. We want to, again, use our highwaymen here to disarm the trap. And we know there's going to be a battle here, so fingers crossed. Okay. Surprise, that's good. This one is the only one that does stress damage, so we're going to continue to prioritize the Cultist Acolyte. 7 points. Now we're going to use the Blight Grenade on the 2 in the back. From this point forward, we should be able to go much faster. Oh, you can't heal from that spot, but that's okay. The Leper can self-heal. Let's go ahead and mace bash. And now you could self-heal, but if I did this, you've got a decent chance at actually outright killing them. But you didn't. That's unfortunate. Stressful incantation. Sure enough, they target the one that can, you know, that can least afford to get more stress. Four points of damage, I can live with that. Graveyard slash, dodge, I can definitely live with that. Alright, now, she is going to bleed out. 4 points of damage, she only has 4 health left. He, however, is not going to, I keep saying bleed out when I mean blade out, but you know what I mean. So we're going to shoot him. 9 points. He is now going to blade out as well, which he just did. Okay, she... I could go ahead and try to kill this one, or I could do a party heal. I'm going to try to kill this one. Well done. 3 stress recovery, so that's good. And now you could target him with a Noxious Blast. Yeah, let's do it. Noxious Blast. Okay. Graveyard Slash. 7 points. Well, we're going to heal up. We're going to do a self-heal again. He's doing okay. Alright, and then you... As much as I would like for him to get another turn to do another self-heal, I think we're just going to try to kill this thing at this point. Okay. So we have another citrine here.
So clearly in view. Or is it merely a trick of the light?
If I hadn't already gotten rid of the other citrine, this would go into the stack with it, but I did. However, like I said, I can go ahead and I can just burn this torch right now. Now we can go ahead and take that citrine, and you can actually eat this food. Okay. Ooh, hello. We actually finished the quest. So, continue adventuring for a second here, because looking at the map here, that means none of these other rooms here have any battles in them. However, we don't have to leave yet. We can keep going, and we might find some more curios that are worth doing. We might find some... Well, we might find some traps, which are obviously not great. I think we're going to keep going, though, in hopes of finding... There could also be monster battles in between the rooms. I don't know. Let's see what's in this first. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and use you. A long-forgotten strongbox sits on the cold stone floor. Its contents unknown. So here's the thing. It may or may not be trapped. We don't know. We don't have a key. It may or may not be locked. We don't have a key. I think in the spirit of things, we're going to go ahead and use Dismas here to go ahead and open it. It's trapped. Okay. Well, so he got some blight on him. Not that big of a deal. Quest complete. Let's go one more room. Let's just see how it goes. Let's see how this goes. We have plenty of food, which means... Okay, first of all, let's find out what is in this pack here. More
Wealth
okay,
beyond
this is
measure.
good.
Awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
Okay, so right there it was worth us continuing the adventure just for that. Now this is a journal page which you do want to collect because they tell the story of Darkest Dungeon. However, we don't really have any storage space for it, and I need all the money I can get, so we're going to actually leave it behind for now. We're going to keep going. It's going to blight out a little bit more. Okay, at this point he can go ahead and eat some food. We have enough food to be enough for us if we get the hunger event. Okay. At this point, we know there's not going to be anything in this room. Scouting. Okay, we got another curio here, and we got an obstacle, so let's go ahead and do this. Okay, this is another locked cabinet. Trapped. Resisted the blight. Okay. At this point, I don't think there's any real reason to continue going. Our quest is complete. We're going to get the rewards for finishing this particular dungeon. We could encounter some more battles, and battles could be good because they could give us some more loot. Yeah, let's do it. Let's push on a little bit farther here. We still have a shovel for this. Oh, and we still have even one more shovel after this. Let's go ahead and get our torchlight going back up again. Maybe we'll scout again. We did. Okay. So here's the thing. Ooh. Okay, we got a secret door right here. Unfortunately, we have no keys, which we would need to get the special loot there, but we might as well go for it anyway. It does mean us fighting... We could fight 2 battles if we go this way, or actually we could go the longer way and only have to fight 1 battle. 1, 2, 3 curios if we go the longer way. Let's go the longer way. Okay, there's the hunger event. Okay, so we need to make sure we have at least 4 food to be able to get through the hunger event without losing health and stress. So open up this box. It contains stashed heirlooms. Okay, at this point, I would rather have a portrait than... Than what? Than this bandage. Okay. Keep going here. You know there's not a fight here. But there is going to be a fight on the way to the next room. Right here. Boom. Okay. This is dangerous because of the stress. Miss. Very nice. Took the goblet. Okay, that's good. I'm not happy that Dismas got 12 stress there, but I'm very glad that it targeted Dismas instead of Montague. Montague, go ahead and use your plague grenade here. Blight, okay. You try to finish it off. Very nicely done. Now it's just damage dealers. We don't have to worry about any more stress. I'm going to go ahead and do a party heal.
Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle.
Okay, miss. Very nice. You go ahead and hit both of them. Or try to anyway. 4 points to each. That's not great. You can now... These things can bleed because they're human. So let's bleed you, if possible. Resisted the bleed. Okay, so never mind. We will try to blight you, however. Okay. You are now going to be dead on your next turn, but unfortunately you got this turn off. You missed anyway, so that's fine. And you missed as well. This is going very, very well. Now, I don't think we need to do another party heal. Let's try to bash. 8 points. Very nice. You can... Where are you at? You're at 20. You can heal yourself. You're now at full health, and your stress is all the way down to 15. She got cut, but she resisted the bleed. You can now do this. Did you bleed them? Yes, you did. They're both going to die now on their next turn. You, that doesn't really matter what you do, so you might as well just try to finish this one off. Got three stress relief out of it, so that's good. And you finish that one off. Maybe you'll get some stress relief as well. You did. Okay, very good. So we got...
Seize this momentum. Push on to the task's end.
This is good. We got more of things that we already have that we're already carrying. So we actually had slots already for each of those. Okay, now, another locked cabinet. I'm going to go buy this one because we don't have a key. I should have brought more keys in. Use another torch. Okay, now we have a pile of books here. We're going to use you... A stack of literary treasures in an unlikely location. This could be good or it could be bad, I'm pretty sure. Let's go ahead. Let's just find out. Okay, she just got a ton more stress, so obviously that was bad. The longer you stay down here, the more stress you do build up because you just keep getting more stress while you're walking around. So that is definitely something to think about. Meanwhile, we're going to go ahead and go down this way. There's a curio here. It's just a box. We can open. Okay, that's fine. Stashed heirlooms. It's very good.
Glittering gold,
okay.
Trinkets and baubles.
So at this point, we're only going to go
in blood.
We're only going to go one more space here. I'm going to go ahead and use up my last torches. Throw away the last ones, actually. And then I'm going to go ahead and take these. And then we're going to go into this secret room right here. And unfortunately, we don't have the key to unlock this, so I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen. But we're going to try it anyway. Oh, there's my timer going off. Wow, an hour already. I think we're going to use good old Talbot here to open it up. There's a locked compartment on the side of it. We're going to try to open it. Someone left behind quite a stash. 1,300. Excellent. We'll take it. Now, had we had a key, I think we would have gotten some really good stuff. But I'm happy with that. Now we're at quest complete. Let's go ahead and wrap this
room by
adventure
room,
up.
Hall by hall. We reclaim what is ours.
And we got a little bit more than 14,000 gold total, and a decent number of heirlooms. We got ourselves some Resolve XP, so we've actually leveled up as well. And Pippery gets Early Riser, that's good. Dismas gets Natural Swing, that's good. And Montague, you get Claustrophobia, that's not good. But there are worse. Return to town.
Though long years may seek to separate them, action and consequence will invariably have their dreadful reunion.
Okay, so as you can see, we have a Maddening Wine event happening. Now this one is extremely Lovecraftian, I feel like, okay? This is something that we may or may not want to do this week. I don't know, I'll have to think about it, but there is now a courtyard quest available. We'll talk about that in the next episode. Also, we can see the update. Renaud prayed and recovered 39 stress and is no longer paranoid. So he still has a ton of stress. He still has 61 stress, but at least he no longer has the affliction. And then Castle here could not achieve a meditative state and has become frustrated. Has a new quirk called Unquiet Mind. So that's unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world. Castle meditated and recovered 32 stress. So apparently Castle did eventually find a way to do some meditating and recover a little bit of stress. But right now, stress is very clearly our biggest enemy. We now have unlocked the guild and the blacksmith, which is extremely important. This is how we get better gear and better skills. That's why I wanted a lot of money, because they're going to be expensive as well. And then we can also glance at the stagecoach, but I'm not going to actually do anything yet. We'll do it at the beginning of the next episode. We got ourselves a jester. Love jesters. Absolutely love them. We already have 2 plague doctors, but we might want to consider getting rid of Montague or even Castle, or even both of them, and replacing them with Cruel here, because Cruel will have less stress than them. We'll take a look at their quirks. The quirks of all 3 of them, and we'll decide which one is the best one to keep moving forward. I don't love Plague Doctors so much that I feel compelled to have more than one of them. And then the Musketeers, they're a decent hero unit as well. So, all right, that is where we're going to pick things up then in the next episode. But yeah, lots and lots of stress to deal with, but at least we succeeded in the first medium adventure that we went through. And now that these 2 things have unlocked, I'm starting to feel a little bit better. We'll start to get our heroes in much better shape to take on the challenges that lie ahead. So I'll go ahead and leave it there for now. Thank you all so much for watching. Appreciate the comments before. Please feel free to leave more comments. Any tips? I know some of you are probably far better at this game than I am, so feel free to do that. Just don't give me any spoilers. I would appreciate that. And also, I obviously try to play immersively, so I don't know if this game has like exploits, but if it does, I will not be using them. So, all right. Anyway, yep, going to leave it there. Thank you all again, and I will see you in the next episode.